Hello, good morning to us all. Welcome to this morning's market review. My name is Joshua. I'm going to be our anchor for today. I'm welcoming each and every one of us here once again. All right, just like we know. So I'm going to acknowledge all those I can see online now, then we move into the real deal. I can see Adejonwo Ahmed, Adeyemi Olalekan, Akilpelumi Isaac. Okay. I can see Andem Oduobuk, yeah, Angela Solis, Busolami, okay, Busolami, Michael, okay, I can see Champion, I can see Daniel Da Costa, right, I can see Emmanuel Carre, I can see Gideon Tabubu, I can see Grace Michael, I can see Kelvin Ochuko, I can see Kene, I can see Monday, I can see Nelsie Friday, I can see Oji Cyril, I can see Olariwa Jubenga, I can see Olatunji Ajane, I can see Oluremi Ajibola, okay, I can see Oluwaseun Faleye, I can see Oyedepo, all right, I can see Sojifa Rotimi, I can see SS, okay, I can see Thompson, Lafidon, I can see Victor Edojo, I can see Villian, okay, I can see Sanari Oteje, all right, yes, that's the last name I think I can see here for now. I know some other set of people are joining us right away. So if you're not hearing me calling your name, it means I might have passed it and or I might have called before you joined, you understand? So, but all the same, good morning to everybody. Good morning to every one of us. Welcome to this morning's market review. Welcome. Just like I said, my name is Joshua. All right, so okay, thank you very much. Adeyemi Olalekan saying good morning, sir. Victor Edojo is saying good morning, sir. I want to believe everybody is able to hear me loud and clear. You understand? So if you're able to hear me from your own end, please just come to the chat section. I need like 3 responses. Loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. So we'll take it up from there, please. I'm waiting for us. Yes. Okay. Akano Femi is saying good morning. Yeah, good morning to you. Yes, yes. Loud and clear, please. It means I want to believe you can hear me loud and clear. Thank you, Akano Femi. Yes, I can see Olaruwa Jubinga saying good morning, sir, loud and clear. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate it. Suyemi Adeleke too. Good morning, saying loud and clear. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, Brown Akinola. Thank you too. Thank you for that. All right, so we'll move into the real deal. First thing first, we'll look at what is happening fundamentally. Then we'll move back to the market and look at what is going to happen technically. Yes. So let's see. All right, so I'll be sharing my screen from my own end here now. Okay. So yes, first thing first. I want to believe everybody is able to see my screen from their own end now. I'm sharing it. Yes. So I want to believe everybody is able to see it right away. Yes. All right. So if you're able to see my screen, first thing you'll be seeing is forexfactory.com displaying on your screen, be it a phone or a laptop, wherever you are. All right. So before I move on, yes, if you're unable to hear me clearly from your own end, please kindly switch off your device and on it again, or you change your location, because I know everybody should be able to hear me from their own end. You understand? All right. So that's for that. Thank you. So, all right, as of this morning, okay, by 7 a.m., we had a high impact news coming out on GBP. That's the pounds. That's the GDP, gross domestic product, month to month. And the actual came out neutral, although on the forecast, it was expected to come out neutral. And that's why you're seeing it as what? As black, you understand? And yeah, we all know the real deal. When it comes out like that, it can go both ways. You see it going up and coming down whenever it's neutral, but at the end of the day, it partial buy. That's what we expect from any of the actual once you see it as color black. Then we have the news coming out on CNY, which is tentative new loans. Although CNY, we do not trade that particular currency on our own platform, so there's no need to worry on that particular currency. Then by 3 p.m., we have news coming out on USD, which is the prelim University of Michigan consumer sentiment and prelim University of Michigan inflation expectation. Yes. So as of yesterday now, we had some high impact news coming out, like on NZD, where we had their governor around 12:15 a.m. speaking. Yeah, that's Governor Hawksby speaking, you understand? Then by 1:15 p.m. yesterday in the afternoon, we had the main refinancing rate and monetary policies, you understand? And their interest rates still remain the same. That's why you're seeing that's 2.15%, you understand? So came out neutral. You understand? Then by 1:30 p.m., we had the USD core CPI and the CPI month to month, then CPI year to year coming out, then the unemployment claim. Well, the news did not come out well. You understand? If you look at it, it came out as black, green, red, black. You understand? And that on its own affected the market. We discovered that on most of the instruments, we had a whipsaw. He first sold for some, then he bought, and for some he bought, and the other before he now picked the sell. But only on one particular instrument did he just take one direction, and that was the USD card. Okay, it was just on USD card alone. And yeah, interestingly, yeah, just on USD card alone, that it didn't take any serious, it didn't move. It just picked one direction. Then by 1:45 p.m., we had the ECB press conference also taking it up, and it moved from there. And we discovered that that on euros, I think for the information that came out around that time was also a strong one. So you discover that the whole move on euros was so strong, bullish, and it kept on pushing. Even as of this morning, if you look at it, you still discover that euro is still pushing up. It's gaining strength while USD is losing strength based on what we're seeing. Let's look at the currency strength meter to look at that. Then we'll come back to Forex Factory. Yes. So on the currency strength meter, all right, based on what we're seeing now, you discover that as of this morning, the strongest instrument as of this morning is euros, followed by AUD. Then we have the GBP, which is coming up, also gaining strength. Why the USD is losing strength? You can see the red arrow on it. CAD is also losing strength based on what we're seeing. We have NZD, then the weakest of them, we have JPY, then the weakest of them all is CHF. And that's why you're seeing the red arrow is also displaying on that particular instrument. You understand? Showing that CHF is also losing strength. And based on what we're seeing now, Euro USD, I feel Euro USD, if you look at it critically, what we should be seeing on that chart is euros going up and yeah, buying. That's just what I feel will be happening now. Although, well, let's see, we'll look at it based on technicals and see if the market is going to respect it that way or not. So looking at all what is happening as of this morning, fundamentally, yes, the only major news we are having is coming by 3 p.m., after which we'll wait till next week to see what is going to happen next week. Yeah, by next week on Monday, we're going to be having all that coming out and the likes. Okay, so let's go and check what is going to happen technically now. Let's look at what is happening or what is going to happen in the market technically. I'm with us. Stay with us. Okay. So yes, let's look at these instruments. So first thing first, I'll be looking at Euro USD. So if you look at the market, based on what we're seeing on our 1 hour time frame, now you discover that price actually, in fact, let me start from the higher time frame. You discover that on Euro USD for a while, price has been going up. Yes, price has been going up. Let me zoom it out so we'll see it clearly. Yes, on Euro USD, price has been going up for a while. So it means the trend on Euro USD has actually been bullish. It's been more of a bullish trend. You understand? If you look at it, this is on daily time frame. This was where it got to. Then it started coming down. It got to this high, then it started coming down until it got to this particular point and it now got rejected. This is the other point it got to, and it got rejected. And if you still look at it based on the trend, it's still giving us that bullish trend. Daily time frame. If you look at it, if I'm to draw the line now from this point to this point, it's been more of a bullish movement. You understand? Price has been respecting the trend. It's been pushing up. So based on that, on 4-hour time frame, you still see it. It's still that same bullish move. You understand? 1 hour time frame, that is what is following. Came down a little, yes. Came down a little. Let me zoom out. Came down a little. Then after that, pushed up. So if you look at it from this point to this point, price has been respecting it based on the trend. If I'm to draw it based on this trend, from this point, you see price has been pushing to the upside. So I want to believe, based on what we are seeing now, I, for one, if price does not reject around this point, because around this point where price is a zone, where price is currently is a zone. Yes, around this point where price is currently is a zone. You understand? So if price is respecting this point, we should have price rejecting. We should have a price selling. But if that is not the case, if the reverse is the case and price is able to break above this particular zone here, then we should expect the price to push to the upside on Euro USD. On this point, if it's able to break above this point now, I'm expecting it to get back to this top point here. That's the way it is. And based on the trend too, yes, that's what we're going to follow. But if it respects this particular section here, it should reverse back down. Then all this abnormality that happened here due to yesterday's news, we could have price reversing back. You understand? That's the way it is. But that's my own take. Although I was already on a sell since yesterday at this point because price got there, came down. But as of this morning, by the time I would check, I didn't even use my take profit or anything. That's why I'm having a drawdown as of this morning. I was expecting it to cover for that. So, but yes, if price should break above this particular section on Euro USD, then we should expect it to push to the upside. But if it respects that zone, then price is going back down. That's it. That's that on Euro USD. Okay, so let's look at USD card. Let's see what is happening on USD card. Let's look at USD card. Okay, so on USD card too, let's see the trend. Let's go to our daily time frame and see what has been happening. So on USD card, you discover that look at it. If you see it, price has also been going up on USD card based on the trend we are seeing. Price has been going up one way or the other. Price has been moving to the upside. This is on daily time frame. Yes. So, and if you're looking at it now, it's more or less like it's still pushing to go to the upside on USD card. Coming to lower time frame now, H4 is still doing the same thing. Goes up, come down, goes up, come down, is expecting. H1, now this is on my 1 hour time frame. Let's look at this. Now, this is a zone here. This is one zone here. This is one zone here that price is coming to meet. Now, if price is able to break below this particular section, then we should expect price to drop. Price is able to break below this particular section that has been marked out for us, we should expect price to drop. But if there's a rejection around that point, then price is expected to go back to the upside. Now, this is the only instrument, if you look at it as of yesterday, when that news will come out, there was no whipsaw. It went directly down. You understand? This was the movement. Bearish all through. Yes, till it got to this point, it got rejected, came back to do a retest. Now, it got rejected around that point. In fact, if you look at it on this particular candle, it gapped up. When price closed there, it gapped up here. It gapped, I said it gapped up, it gapped down to this point, testing this zone again, but could not break it. Now pushed back to the upside. You see, that's tested that zone twice, twice. You understand? Now, that's why it pushed to the upside. So if it's coming again and is respecting this point, I'm expecting price to push to the upside. And based on the trend we're seeing, even on the higher time frame, just like I said, zooming out, let's see it. Based on what we're seeing, I'm zooming out now, so you see it very well. This is it. You discover that price has actually been moving to the upside. Based on it, look at it. It's been pushing to the upside. You understand? For a while, it ranged around this point. Can you see this is on my daily time frame? It ranged around this point. Price was hitting this point several before it broke it here, came back into that same point and is around here. So it's expected that price should take a direction now. And what's that direction we're expecting price to take here? Either it comes down and breaks below this section, or it gets to this point, respects this zone and push up. And if we are to look at it based on what we're seeing on trend, it's giving us that upward push. So yes, I'll be expecting USD card to go up. That's my own bias based on the trend I'm seeing. I'm expecting USD card to push to the upside. All right. So let's look at the next instrument, which is USD JPY. All right. I'm on USD JPY now. Let's look at it based on daily time frame to see what price is currently doing on daily time frame. Let's see. All right, so this is my daily time frame, and I'm zooming out so we can see what exactly price is doing. So also on USD card, price has actually moved up for a while, then moved between these 2 points, one, and this second point, that's this high here. Okay, so price just moved between this point for a while now, since it broke into this point from this particular section zone, started moving up and down between these points. You understand? So based on that, I would say around these 2 points, we have the internal support and resistance, right? So let's see what is happening. Based on the trend we're seeing, is more or less like price is trying to push to the upside. And for a while now, we'll discover that JPY has also been weak. JPY, that's the Japanese yen, has actually been weak for a while. All right, so because of that, it is looking at what I'm seeing here, you discover that price, based on what we're seeing now, this is on daily time frame. You see, it's been moving sideways on this particular lane. Let me look at it on my lower time frame now. Yes, it's been moving sideways on this lane. If you're looking at it from the daily time frame, it's been moving sideways on that point. So what is expected is, let me zoom in. Price here is trying to come down, and since it's coming down, I'm expecting price to respect this particular zone here. There's a zone around this point if price is coming down. As of this morning, like I said, when we were checking the currency strength meter, we discovered that USD is losing strength. So I feel price is coming down to this point. So this is the main point, the main entry point for us here now. What price does here is what we're going to look at. Is price going to break below this part or move back? If price gets to this point and doesn't break below this section, as far as price does not break below this section, then I expect it to reverse back to the upside. Currently, I'm expecting price to come down. Yes, I'm expecting price to come down to this point. Yes, based on what I'm seeing, I'm expecting price to get rejected back to this point. Okay, so on getting to this point now is what determines, is it going to break below it? And if it breaks below this point successfully, it's coming down to this point. But if that is not the case, if the reverse is the case and it rests within this point, we could still have price reversing back to the upside. So yes, I'm expecting price to get down to this point. This point is what the real deal is. So I believe we know what to do. All right. The next one is USD CHF. Okay, USD CHF. All right. So in fact, based on what we're seeing here, yeah, you can see that I'm also using the Fibonacci instrument here. Yeah. So it is once price, immediately price broke out of this point and moved to the upside. You see, it got to this point, got rejected, came back to this zone here and respected that zone. Now, this is the same thing that you're seeing here. This point you're seeing here. If price is able to break below it, then, okay, so this is this. If price is able to break below this part, then we're expecting it to come down to this point. Now, around this point, if you look at it again, you can expect price to push to the upside. So you can have two things here. Break here, sell down to this point. Around this point, you could have your buy. You can have your buy limit around this point for price to pick you to the upside. That's the way it is. That's my own take on USD CHF. So if price is able to break below this part, then we should expect price to drop to this point. And once it drops to this point, around this point, we could expect price to what? Push back to the upside. But yes, I'm expecting price to sell. Let's see. I'm expecting price to sell, not even with how USD is losing strength massively this morning. Okay. All right, so let's look at GBP USD. GBP USD. Let's look at GBP USD. GBP USD, I'm with us. Okay, GBP USD. Wow, just like we was looking at it again, you discover that actually USD is losing strength, and that's why you're seeing on GBP USD price is pushing up. It's really, really pushing to the upside. Yes. Okay, so let's look at it on daily time frame. I'm zooming out now. Okay, so on daily time frame, it's been more between these 2 points, this point 1, and this is point 2. Okay, so price got to this point, got rejected back to this point. In fact, if you look at it around this point, it got here 1, came down and touched it here. So making it what? Double bottom, and price respected it by pushing up. You know, this is based on technicals. And around that point now, where price is, you discover that around this point, there's a zone, there's a resistance where price is currently. Looking at it, even on H4, you can see it clearly. There's a resistance zone around this point. And unless price is able to break above this point, price might have issues. So this is it. Okay, let me set that on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so if price is able to break above this part successfully, if he's able to break above this part successfully, then we should have price pushing to the upside. So now this is it on 1-hour time frame. Yes, if price is able to break above this part successfully, then we could have price pushing to the upside. But unless that happens, price might not push to the upside. Price might respect that point there where it is. Price might respect this point where it is here. It might get to this point and reverse back down. So if price is able to break that point, then we should expect price to still push up. So I'm expecting price to come and test this particular zone here. If price is able to test it, then we could have price pushing to the upside. But at the end of the day, if price still respects this point, then price is going to drop. It is expected for dollars to also gain strength. Okay, so I just believe it's more of the news that came out yesterday, the consumer price index, that affected the whole movement of the market. It didn't really give us a good information. Came out good, bad, and negative, and negative. You understand? At the same time, really neutral, negative. It wasn't a good information for dollars, and that on its own affected the move of that market. Okay, all right. Let's move to. Okay, so let me pick one more currency instrument, then we'll move on. Okay, let's look at Euro JPY. Let's look at Euro JPY. Okay, I'm with us. So on Euro JPY, you discover that price is pushing up currently. Yes, price is pushing up currently on Euro JPY based on the trend we are seeing here now. And it's moving quietly, coolly and calmly. That's what price is doing here. It's just giving us that quiet move. You see it? It's moving quietly. And even if I want to pick it from this other point, let's say I want to pick it from this point here now, you still discover that price is moving cool and calmly. Yes. Still moving cool and calmly. Price is still pushing to the upside here. So I want to believe that price is still going to go up on Euro JPY. But for you to go for that bullish move on Euro JPY, wait for price to break above this point successfully. Let me put it this way. If price is able to break above this point successfully, then we should expect a bullish move on Euro JPY. Euro JPY, yes, I'm expecting a bullish move, but for you to go for that bullish move, wait for it to break above this part. Once that happens, you can go for that bullish movement. That's my take on Euro JPY. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to commodities next now. Let's look at commodities next. Okay. All right. I'm with us, please. All right. Gold. Let's come to gold. Let's look at gold. You discover, if you look at it now, gold has gone to an all-time high. In fact, let me get there. On gold. Gold has gotten to all-time high. Has really moved. Can you see it? 3,674.63 has gotten to that high point. If I was discussing with them in class, and I told them in class, I said, I'm expecting it to get to 4,000. Yes, because if you look at it based on the whole move, let me zoom it out so we can see it. Based on what we are seeing, gold from the beginning of time, since when it started, based on what we're seeing here now, like since 1st of June 2004, if that is true, how that the market started there, till now, gold has been pushing to the upside. You understand? And it has gotten to that high. Okay? It has gotten to this high. This is the highest point it has gotten to now. Respected that point, came down a little, now pushed up. So look at the whole deal here now. This is on 1 hour time frame now. Okay, so this is it. Price is now back down here. If you look at it critically, you discover that there's a zone around this point. After I got to this high and it dropped, came back, tested this point, came back again to this down point. It has tested, it's testing this point, and price has respected that zone. And you see, price has respected that zone. So it's expected for price to still do what? On gold, I'll expect price to what? To drop. Yes, I'm expecting price to drop on gold. But the drop in might just be to this section. Might just be around this point, maybe around this point. Then from this point, it pushes back to the upside. Or even around where it is now, you can still break it, because as of this morning now, we are having dollars being weak. Although dollars is not just the only influencer of gold. It's not the only influencer of gold. We have another currency that could also influence gold, and that is Australian dollar, because Australia is one of the largest producer, if not, is even the second largest producer of gold in the world, you understand? So yes, we have countries like that that can actually determine some certain move. In terms of continents, anyway, Africa is the largest producer in terms of continents. Yeah, but as a country, some of the countries, Australia is one of those countries that has a say on the movement of gold. I'm expecting the price to drop to around this point. So once it drops to around this point, there could be a rejection back to the upside. So the main deal is just for us to look out for the best points to go for that bullish move. Since price has gotten to this point, a rejection down. So around this point, you discover that price range. So this means that this point is also a point to reckon with the strong zone. So let's wait and see what price will do. Once price gets to this point, it should reject back to the upside. That's if price comes down. But if it doesn't, based on the fact that dollars is weak, it could go push up and break above that point. And if that is going to happen, you wait for price to break above this particular zone here. Price is able to close above this section successfully on gold, then you can go for that bullish move. That's that on gold. Let's look at another instrument. Let's look at oil. Let's look at oil. Okay, oils. Okay, so I'm on oil now. Oh, so looking at oil, you discover that price of oil has actually been dropping for a while. Wow, that's serious. Look at it. Based on daily time frame, price of oil has dropped. Well, I'm also expecting the price to drop. I'm also expecting the price to drop. This is one zone on daily time frame here. Yes, on the 4 hours time frame, you still see it there, and 1 hour time frame. Okay, so based on what we're seeing, based on where price is currently, this might just be a minor pull back to the upside. Might be a minor push back to the upside. I'm still expecting price towards to drop. So yes, I'm expecting price towards to drop on oil. But yes, around this point, we could have price ranging a little around this section. Price could range a little, then after that, it drops. Yes. And once it drops to this point, I'm still expecting it to drop further. If you look at it, I'm still expecting price of oil to drop further, because now it's already in large quantity around the world. So yes, we should have price of oil dropping further, except if there's going to be any artificial scarcity outside, or based on some other economical issues in terms of tariffs and the likes that could affect it. But yes, I'm expecting price of oil to come down, to break below this point. I'm expecting it to break below this point. Yes, I'm expecting the price to come down, down, down. That's my own bias on oil anyway. I'm expecting a bearish move on oil. Okay, so let's look at wheat. Let's look at wheat. Look at wheat. Okay, so I'm on wheat now. Woo! This is serious. The movement on wheat as of yesterday was very, very, this is serious. What? Look at the move. It went up yesterday. 1, 2, 3. This is massive. This is massive. Yes. In fact, I'm coming. Yes, all the whole move. First, yesterday started and came down. Then after that point, it hit that particular support zone. And from there, from that point, it gapped up, pushed to the upside, kept on pushing, pushing, pushing till it got up to this point. And as of this morning, what are we expecting it to do? Currently, that price is ranging. It's really not giving us a definite direction on wheat. Based on what we are seeing as of now, is yet to close in a definite direction. This is point one coming. Yes, and this is the second point here that we're looking. So this man, this particular candle that is forming is what is going to determine how the whole deal is. Is it going to break below it? Because all the points that price has gotten to here, in fact, if we are to look at it, all the points that it has gotten to, if this man, this particular candle zero that is forming now is able to break this point and close below this direction, then we should expect the price to go down. Because yes, it really pushed up yesterday. So yes, I'm expecting price to what, to drop. If it doesn't drop, then we could have price struggling a little around this point. And when we are having price struggling, that's when we'll say maybe it's ranging and everything, and you can see it like it is. So but I'll be expecting price to drop on wheat, not with this move. This move that we are seeing here on wheat is not a normal move, it's an abnormal move. It's an abnormal move. So yes, because of that, we should expect a correction on wheat. That's my own take anyway. That's my own opinion on wheat. We should expect a correction. All right. Okay, so let's look at one more. You can see saying Mr. Akpan Cornelius. Let's look at coffee. All right, let's look at coffee. Let's see. Dropping it. Let's look at coffee. Okay. I'm on coffee now. Boom. So this is coffee. This is it on 1 hour. In fact, based on the way it's moving, I'll kindly advise you stay away from coffee for now. Look at the move. It's more or less like it's just giving us one sideways movement, and the movement is even tight. Look at it. This is a sideways movement. Let it give us a definite direction, then we'll follow. Yes, this is a sideways movement. It's not giving us one definite movement. So let's hold on for price to give us a definite movement. Either it breaks out to the upside or it breaks down below this point where it is now successfully, then we'll follow that section. Come in. Let me make it fair. Yes. Once it breaks down to below this point, then we can follow it. But as of now, it's not giving us any cool or interesting direction that we can follow. We can follow here. Come in. Okay. 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 I'm coming. So this is point one, and this is point two. And put it this way. Okay. This is one, and this is two. So we must wait for it to break above or below any of these two sections. Once that happens, then we can take a definite direction on that. But for now, it's not giving us that direction. So let's hold on. Let's stay away until it gives us that direction. That's when we can follow it. So that's that on coffee. Let's come to indices. Let's come to indices. Then we'll look at it. Okay, Daniel Da Costa, you say, please, I need explanation on the break above successfully. Is it when price breaks and close above, or is it, or it doesn't matter whether it closes above or not, because oftentimes price may break and close above, and after entry, you see price coming down to the previous zone. Okay, so one of the things we need to understand is this. When we're saying break above, it must close above this point. Yes, just like this now. Let me give you an instance. Look at this man. This particular section here, okay, this man got up to this point, broke this particular zone. You understand? More or less like a resistance zone, broke it and closed up here. Now, on doing that, this particular candle started forming. Came back to test this point, but it got rejected and closed bullish. This is a sign that price is going up. So yes, you can join the bullish move from this particular candle based on what you are saying. You have joined the bullish move, and yes, it got to that point. Now, you see, around this zone that you're seeing here, price ranged, closed above it. We were expecting it to go up, but look at this. Came back and did this. The same thing did as if it's breaking in before this man now came in, and this candle followed. Now, show this bearish candle now has given us a sign that price wants to come down. Now, these two candles that you're seeing was just more of a pullback, but it still came back to test this zone, and it didn't break it. Can you see? And since then, price has been dancing between these 2 points. Now, if you're saying price should break above or below, let it close below a particular zone. A retest can happen. Once it gets to that point, that's where the retest is. Is it breaking it back into that zone? If it doesn't break back into that zone, a rejection occurs there, then it means it is going in that line, it's going down. That's how it is, mainly. And yeah, once in a while it could happen. Unforeseen circumstance, there could be news or some, yeah, there could be news. And once there's news, breaking news like that, it follows, reaction follows, and you see the market moving. So some of these things, that's the way it is. Okay. All right. So let's go to indices. Let's look at indices. Let's look at indices. Let's see what is happening on indices. So, all right, on indices, start with, look at, okay. Okay, US 30 is here. I want to open all the whole US index and pick it one after the other. I'll look at all the whole US index, then we'll pick it one after the other. All right, so I'll start with US 30, then I'll move to US 100, then US 500, then US 2000. That's the way I'm going to do that, okay? So US 30 first. Let's look at US 30. So yes, yesterday's news didn't really come out good for the US currency. And that's why you're saying it that yes, price went to the upside, pushed up. And it has gotten to that high. And that's why you're saying whenever price gets to a new high, you should always expect price to pull back. That's just it. So, and that's why you can see that price is pulling back down this morning. It's pulling back down this morning. And okay, so these are my daily time frame. If you see the way price has been moving, that's gotten to this high. Now it's pulling back down. It's still, for me, I will still expect price to push up. Yes, I expect price to push up. So the move we are seeing here might be minor. It might push back down, yes, 100%, or around this point now where it is, where we are seeing it now, around this particular zone here, price could reverse back to the upside. Price could reverse back to the upside. So this particular section is a strong zone. If price is able to break below this part successfully, then we could have a bearish move. But if that is not the case and it gets reversed and it gets rejected here, we could have price reversing back to the upside on US 30. And based on the trend we are seeing on US 30, this is it. Can you see? It's been more of an upward trend. It's been pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. So you should expect. I'll pitch my tent with the bulls on US 30. That's my own take. US 30 bulls. US 100. Let's look at US 100 and see what we are seeing and see what is happening on US 100. So on US 100 too, you discover that price has actually pushed to the upside, although Didn't really move like US 30 did yesterday, although yes, it pushed up. Yes. And looking at it based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, US 100 is also pushing up. It's more of a bullish move. Now, let me just give us one secret you need to understand with this market. You see, all the instruments that you see us analyzing or talk about, they all have a particular direction they move to more than the other. You understand? Even for currencies, be it currencies, commodities, and indices, you discover that for some, it's more of buy than sell, and for some, it's more of sell than buy. Now, when it comes to indices, if you look at it critically based on long, higher time frames and the likes, you discover that it's more of a bullish move. This is it on the monthly time frame. Look at when it started and the whole day, you discover that it's more of a bullish move on all these instruments in the indices. Look at it, it's more of bullish than bearish. It's more of bullish than bearish based on what we're seeing. You see, price pushing up, coming down, pushing back to the upside like that. It's more of a bullish move. Daily time frame, the same thing. 4 hours, you see it. So the main thing is always look out for some of them. What our advice is, since you know where the direction of this market is tilting towards, mainly if it's for bullish, then you always look out for the bullish market. Look out for the buy opportunity. Now, US 100 now, in US 100, you discover that price has gotten to this particular point and is ranging around that point. Look at it here. Based on what we are saying, it's just like it's moving sideways. Got into this high and it's trying to push back. So price could break below this section. Could. Yeah, it's just, yes, it could. So price is trying to pull back. Now, if price is able to break below this zone successfully, then we could have price coming down. If it closes below this section, we could have price coming down. But if that is not the case, price could break it and still push back to the upside, pushing up. But just like I said, US 100, US 30, I'm pitching my tent with the bulls. US 500. US 500. Okay. Now, US 500, we are having the same move. You can see that price is pulling back, pushing down. You understand, it's being rejected around that point, and price has pulled back down to this point. So around this point now is a strong zone. Is price going to break below it? Only we don't know. But if it's able to break below this section that has been marked out, we should expect a bearish move. But if that is not the case, price could push back to the upside. So that's it. So let's just watch out for this particular section that has been marked out for us here, this zone. Is price going to break below it or above it? If price is able to break above it, then we should expect break below it, we should expect price to push back, to push down. But if that is not the case, if it's unable to break below it, then we're expecting price to what? Push up. Now, US 2000. US 2000, okay. So on US 2000, yes, we had that strong move on US 2000 yesterday. You can see it, it pushed up from this point. It started moving and went as high as this particular section here until this morning when price started coming back down. And it has gotten to this zone and is expecting this point. To make it tight. It has gotten to this point and is respecting it, but let's look at it this way. Fine. So this is it. Now you see, on getting to this point, it has ranged between these two zones. This is 0.1 and this is 0.2. It has ranged between these two zones. So because of that, I'll kindly advise we wait and see what price wants to do. If it's able to break below this part and gives us a direction, then we can follow that bearish move. But if that is not the case and it pushes, it can still go up. Since it's moving sideways as of now, let's wait and see what price wants to do. Let's wait and see what price wants to do. Okay? So US 2000, let's wait and see. Is it going to break below it or above it? Then we follow the direction. All right? So I'll look at one more instrument, then I'll give us the opportunity to begin to drop our instrument for us to look at. Okay, Victor Edojo, you're saying DE40. Let's look at DE40. Let's see what DE40 is saying. DE40. I'm on DE40 now. So if you look at DE40, it's actually between the same point for a while now, got to this high, and this is the lowest it came from after I got to that high. You understand? This is the lowest point it came down to. Okay, but no, let's just look at it from this point now. That has respected this point, came down, gone up, came down. So this is my take. Let's go on daily time frame, and it's so long. We can't pick our trade from that point. Based on what we're seeing on H4 now, you can see that price is dropping. Let's see on H1. Okay. So on H1, this is on my 1 hour time frame. Let me zoom out. You discover that the trend has been what? Bearish. All right, so before I move on, I can see Okoro facing a motion, but raising your hand, please come to the chat section. Drop it for me there. Drop it for me there, please. Drop it for me there. Whatever thing you want, come and drop it for me. Direct it to me. You understand? Okay. So on DE40, you look at it, it's more of a bearish move. It's more of a bearish move. So I will pitch my tent with the bears if that is the case. But the real deal is wait for price to get rejected now, because you can see that already on candle zero is giving us that bearish move. So I won't advise you go there now. Wait for a pullback to a resistance zone. Then you can enter the bearish move. You can go for that sell. But currently now, yes, on candle zero, you can see that it's selling, and I'm expecting it to still drop. Yes, it's still going to drop. It's still going to drop. It could drop. It could come down as far as this point. So I'll pitch my tent with the bears on DE40. Based on the trend we are seeing, you can see it for yourself. It's bearish. You can see it's been dropping for a while. So yes, the trend is bearish. I'm expecting price to come down on DE40. Yes, that's my take on DE40, the bearish move. Okay. All right. Okay, so all right, so Opunsunju Boma, you're saying we should look at gold again. All right, so I'll check gold again. Please, you have the opportunity now. The floor is open for you or to you all. The instrument you want us to look at, please come drop it for me at the chart section. Come drop it for me at the chart section so I can look at it. All right, so let's look at gold again. Just like I said, on gold, I'm expecting price to push down. But you see, I've marked out 2 points. This point, if it breaks above this particular section successfully, I'm expecting it to push up. Yes, I'm expecting it to push up. But if that is not the case, price could get down to this point that has been marked out for us. Around this point, there's a zone there. Now, if price gets to this point, I'm expecting a rejection from this point. That's my take. So we can look out for these 2 sections or 2-point zones. Either it breaks above or it comes and gets rejected here. Okay, so that's that. Okay. Adejun Ahmed, you say, can I enter Euro USD sell? It's your choice, sir. I can't tell you when to enter, when to buy or sell. It's your choice. So look at it very well. If he's telling you to go for that bearish move, you can go for it. The best I can tell you is this. Is it going to go up or come down? I don't know. But based on the analysis that has been given, I told us if he's able to break above this point, I'm expecting it to push up. But if you, as you can see, you see that price is respecting that point. You understand? Price is respecting the point there. So if price should respect this zone, you know what it means. It means it's not going up. It means it's coming down. But price could break it. But me telling you to enter a sell, I can't do that for you, sir. You will be the one to decide. Okay, thank you. All right. Daniel Da Costa, GBP AUD. Okay, let's look at GBP AUD. GBP AUD. GBP AUD. Okay. All right. So looking at it from the higher time frame first. Wow, this is serious. From the higher time frame, it's been coming down on the daily time frame. Look at it. Over how many days now? It's been bearish, really, really massive. This has been more of a bearish move on GBP AUD. So let's look at it on daily time frame, on the 1 hour time frame too. You discover that that's the same move. It's been bearish for a while. So if you're saying, if it's giving us that bearish move, it means that's the direction of the market. So what we're looking out for is the best points to what? For me, I'll say the best points to go bearish, to go for a sell. You understand? That's my own opinion. But yes, price could reverse back. So price has gotten to this particular low now, and you can see that price is being rejected here. Yes, price is being rejected and it has pushed back to this upside. So if price does not break above this section where it is now, around this zone successfully, if price does not break above it, then around this point, we should look out for a bearish move around this point here. If price does not close above this point, then we can go for our bearish move here. Price should drop. We should expect price to drop on GBP AUD once it doesn't close above this section. Okay. I'll pitch my tent with the bears on that. All right, so let's look at Euro AUD too. Let's look at Euro AUD. Euro AUD. Let's look at Euro AUD. All right, I'm coming. Euro AUD. Okay. All right, so looking at Euro AUD too, I'm on the daily time frame. So you discover that price has also dropped on Euro AUD for a while, but before now, price pushed up a little, then now coming back down. Let's see what is happening on 1 hour time frame. Let's see. Wow, this is serious. So price has been giving us that bearish trend. Coming down, giving us that lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Now, it has gotten to this lower low and is also pushing for this lower high. If it gets rejected around this point where it is and respects this zone, I'm expecting it to what? To keep on moving down, bearish move. So the real deal is this. Is price going to break above this point? Oh, sorry. Price going to break above this point or not? If price is able to close above this point, then we should expect price to push back to the upside. But if that is not the case, and price respects this zone, then we're expecting a bearish move on Euro AUD. Yes. Okay. All right. So Nnamdi Mbata, we'll look at GBP/NZD because as of the time you dropped GBP/AUD, I believe I was on it together with us then, and you also saw it here. So GBP/NZD. Let's look at GBP/NZD. GBP/NZD. Okay, GBP/NZD. GBP/NZD. So on the daily time frame now, zooming out, you discover that based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, price has actually been pushing up on GBP/NZD. But now price got to that rejection point. It's trying to like come down. You see, if I'm to plot it based on this new trend, it's like price wants to start coming down. But where price is now is a support zone. So this on daily time frame is a support zone. So as far as price does not break below that zone, we should expect price to push back up. But let's look at it on 1 hour time frame. Can you see? On 1 hour time frame, price is trying to push back to the upside. So if it's able to break above this section here, that's when we can say you should go for that bullish move. Yes, if it closes above this section that has been marked out, then we can go for that bullish move. But if that is not the case, it respects that zone, then we are expecting price to drop on GBP/NZD. Okay, so that's that on GBP/NZD. Okay. Okay, so Aremu, you said I was saying something about the US indices. Okay, please. Which of the indices do you want me to look at? And the last instrument I'll be checking now is USD CHF. So Aremu, please, I would like you to drop the indices, the US indices you want me to look out for you, check for you. Then we'll talk on that and we'll call it a day. Okay, so the last instrument as of now is USD CHF. Let's look at USD CHF. USD CHF. I'll look at USD CHF. So Aremu, I'm waiting for you. Just drop the US index I want me to look at. Is it US 30, 100, or which one of it? Then I'll look at it. All right. So this is on USD CHF. Just like I said, I'm looking at the chart, you discover that my Fibonacci is already on. And based on what we're seeing now, price is coming close to this zone here. This is a support zone, and you can see that I've marked out that box, that point. If price is able to break below that point successfully, then we should expect price to drop. But if it doesn't happen that way, and it respects this zone, I'm expecting price to push back to the upside. But as of this morning, dollars has been weak. So what are we expecting? We're expecting that bearish move on dollars. That's my own take. So, but price could respect this zone. If it respects this zone, we're expecting it to push back to the upside. Okay. All right. US 100. Let me look at US 100. Aremu, I've seen that, and that's going to be the last instrument for today. US 100. So on US 100, just like I told us, you can see that price is moving just between these 2 points. It's coming down to this point. So I marked out this point for us that yes, price could break below it. And if it closes below this zone, we could have price pushing back down. But one thing that I said earlier on was that for all the instruments we trade in this global market, they all have a particular direction they move towards more. For some instruments, you see it moving up more than down, like it's more of a buy than a sell. Why for some, it's more of sell than a buy. Yes. So, but if you look at it based on what we're seeing on indices, you discover that it's more of a buy than sell. So I just gave us an insight that if you want to trade more of some of these indices, look out for the direction it tilts towards mainly. Once you're able to get that, always look out for, if it's more of sell, always look out for a selling position for that instrument. And if it's more of buy, always look out for a buying position on that instrument. That's the information. So if you look at indices now, how do you know the direction? Go and look at it on the higher time frame to show you the direction it has moved towards to more. You understand? So from that, it helps, or it will guide you in your placing of trade on some of these instruments. All right. So thank you very much. I'll call it a day to now. See you same time next week. Bye for now.